All right, just to start out with injuries. Hey, coming out of the game, Brian Winters redislocated his shoulder. Really, it's, extended amount of time. Most likely, it'd be hard for you to get him back this season. We just kind of got to wait to see what all our options are. I mean, it's a possible surgery situation. We're just waiting to kind of really see kind of what Brian wants to do moving forward. Chris Herndon fractured a rib and is going to be out an extended amount of time. We're still kind of trying to figure out how long that's going to be. We're going through asking a lot of questions, trying to make sure that, we put him in the right position going forward. Copeland, he'll be limited early in the week. Kind of had a muscle strain kind of by his hip. So we're going to have him seeing a specialist, and we'll kind of see how he feels through the week. And then outside of that, really, I think everybody's all right. Le'Veon seemed like he was okay after the game. I think he was just sore during the game, but it seemed like he was all right after the game. And with that, any questions you guys have for me?
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
Yeah, a couple of injury follow-ups, Adam. Can you just give us a little more background on the Herndon rib thing? Because he was playing early in the game.
Yeah.
When did that happen? And how serious is that in terms?
It was one of the earlier plays. He didn't say anything. To me, I think the doctors they looked at him after kind of the game. We did X-rays at the stadium, and then he had a CT scan this morning, and it looks like it's fractured someplace, like one of those first, second ribs, whatever it is. That's in a place where it could be an extended period of time where if something happened, it could hurt him worse than what he already is.
Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Hey, Adam, just looking ahead to this upcoming game in Washington, can you speak to the importance of just kind of, building on what you did yesterday and not taking another step back? You kind of seemed to calm the waters a little bit with yesterday's performance. And just kind of, what's the importance of just trying to get something going here a little bit after the way this season's gone?
Yeah, it's all going to be about Wednesday showing up, coming back to work, wiping the slate clean, just focusing on winning the next game and really preparing for the next game. I mean, if we're looking past anything besides that, we're in the wrong spot. We need to stay focused on task at hand. I mean, we need to figure out a way to just keep improving every day and not really worry about what's going on record-wise and things like that. Like, we just need to play better than we did the week before.
A reminder to please press *3 if you have a question. Manish, Daily News, your line is active.
Adam, a couple things. First, just to follow up on what you just said a moment ago. Obviously, that Sam and I believe Jamal mentioned that the playoffs is still a possibility. How do you feel about that? And then secondly, just a logistical thing. Has Dow always had the challenge flags with him? It looked like he was the one who was physically throwing the challenge flag out there. Can you kind of just take us through the mechanics of that?
Yeah, I've always had somebody else do it just because I'm moving around quite a bit, and that's the way I like it. And as far as Jamal and Sam, we talk about it all the time. We focus on task at hand. After we win, sometimes you start looking a little further ahead, and really it's we're going to be focused on 1 week at a time right now.
Brian from the Post, your line is active.
Adam, just curious on a couple injury updates on some guys who've been dealing with injuries. Khalil, Hewitt, Roberts, any of those guys have a chance this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be about, we're going to be able to, we got to see what kind of leading into practice, what it's going to be like. Are they going to be able to do individual? Are they going to be able to do, team periods? I mean, Neville's technically been cleared, but we just got to see kind of how that plays out. Khalil, same thing, just kind of see where he is when we get going on practice. And then Darryl, I mean, he's progressing and trying to do the things he needs to do to get to practice. It's kind of everything's great for us right now with those guys. We got to kind of see what happens when we hit Wednesday.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
Adam, Le'Veon had averaged only 1.9 a carry, which was the lowest since his rookie year. We all know the run blocking hasn't been clean this season, but is he leaving some yards out there? Because, I mean, it just seems, that's kind of a mind-boggling number. Is that your opinion? Is he leaving some yards out there?
Yeah, some of the runs are designed just to be efficient runs as far as, hey, it's 2nd and 2, we're hammering it up in there, we're 2nd and 1 on the 1, he gets the touchdown. I mean, there's sometimes, I'm sure, where he'll come back and say, hey, I wish I would have done this, or this, and there's sometimes where there's some leakage that we need to clean up. I guess I just look at more of the efficiency. I look at just kind of how they're playing, how we're playing. There's so many moving pieces when it comes to the run game. I do know this. I think we just need to do a better job, as a group of sustaining our blocks better, making sure that we're exact on what we're doing, as far as where we're hitting these runs. I think there's just a lot of things that we can clean up, and I think there's some things that we can do as coaches that we can help our guys out.
Manish, Daily News, your line is active.
Adam, a couple things. When you watch the tape, what are a few specific things that you thought Sam improved upon? And then secondly, just knowing that you had big plans for Chris this year, how unfortunate has that entire situation been?
One of the things I think Sam did a really good job of doing last game was when he did break the pocket, he made the right decision as far as throwing the ball away, or he knew the right time to be able to really kind of take a chance and throw the ball in a location where our guy had a shot at it and their guy didn't. I thought that was really good. His pocket movement was good. I thought he made some really good throws in the pocket where he took a couple shots, but they were accurate throws and kept guys on the move. I thought the throw he had to Robbie was phenomenal, where he took a pretty good shot and he bounced back up and he threw a really nice ball, so that was good. I thought all his pre-snap stuff was really good this game. I thought he was really an improvement from last week. It's disappointing. I feel bad for Chris because he was excited to get back out there. Just for whatever reason, he couldn't catch a break this year. And we'll kind of see what happens, see what the doctors tell us for the rest of the season. But that just, obviously you guys saw him in the spring, you saw him in training camp. Well, kind of the things that we wanted to do with him, and I feel bad for him that he's not going to be able to do stuff like that.
A reminder, please press star 3 if you have a question. Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Hey, Adam, with regard to Sam a little bit, do you look now at that couple game stretch as just a slump for him, and do you think it looked like he was getting close last week in Miami, and obviously yesterday was a pretty good performance. Do you think that he's past that, what was going on those couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think we just have to always just keep building and learning from whatever game we're at, and then move on to the next one and just try to build off of that. I think it's hard to kind of predict how each game is going to go out. I know when we get to that game, we prepare all week, you kind of you have a thought process of how you think it's going to go. But at the end of the day, you got to stay in the moment. You got to do a good job playing one play at a time. And you got to do a good job of making sure that you take care of the football. And I think the more games that we can build on that in a row, the better it is for him, because then it becomes habit and it becomes consistency. And really, that's what most of us are always trying to do, is how do we build consistency week in and week out in this profession.
Zach from the Post, your line is active. Lost Zach. If there are any more questions for Coach, please press *3. Your line is active.
Hey, Adam, did Kelvin Beachum coming back, did you see kind of a positive effect, him, getting back to that left tackle spot, just on the line, and not only on the line, but on Sam as well, just kind of having your left tackle back in there?
Yeah, I think it was a big deal. Just having a guy that's a captain back in the lineup is positive for us. I think the other guys seeing him work to get back out there. I know he probably wasn't feeling the best that he's felt in his career, but he fought through probably a lot of pain and aggravation throughout the game and got himself ready, and then went out there and played well and did a good job. And especially in pass protection, he did a good job of making sure that that side wasn't an issue. And I think it was kind of good for our line to kind of get that group back together. I know Brian ended up going out, but hopefully we can find a way to get a few games in a row here where we can keep the same lineup.